Spring break, a time for parties, beaches, and fun. But sometimes those who go looking for adventure find themselves trapped in a nightmare they never escape. These are three disturbing, true spring break horror stories that will make you think twice before your next vacation. A group of college friends expected nothing but sunshine and good times, but one of them would vanish into thin air, never to be seen again. It was spring break 2017 in Cancun, Mexico. Five friends rented a beachside Airbnb ready to party. On their second night, they decided to walk back from a club instead of taking a taxi, a decision they would regret forever. As they made their way down a dimly lit beachside road, Lisa, a 20-year-old college student, suddenly stopped to tie her shoe. Her friends kept walking ahead, assuming she would catch up. But when they turned back, Lisa was gone. At first, they thought she was messing with them. But after shouting her name with no response, panic set in. They retraced their steps, searching the darkened streets and nearby beach. But Lisa was nowhere to be found. The police were called, but their response was slow. Locals warned that cartels and traffickers operated in the area, preying on unsuspecting tourists. Lisa's phone was later found abandoned in the sand, still unlocked, with an unsent message. Something's wrong. To this day, Lisa has never been found. Some believe she was kidnapped, while others say something even darker happened that night. You think you know the person you're traveling with? But what if they had a secret so terrifying you might not survive the trip? In 2019, two college girls, Emma and Sarah, booked a cheap motel for their spring break trip in Miami. They were excited to hit the beach, party, and make memories. But by the second night, Emma started to notice something strange about Sarah. Sarah was acting off. She'd disappear for hours at night and return shaking and pale. She wouldn't say where she went, and when Emma pressed her about it, Sarah snapped, "Don't ask questions." Things got even worse when Emma woke up at 3 a.m. to Sarah whispering in the corner. At first, she thought her friend was talking on the phone, but when she looked closer, Sarah was staring at the wall, whispering to herself. Terrified, Emma pretended to sleep. The next morning, Sarah was gone. Their room door was unlocked, her suitcase still there. The front desk had security footage of Sarah leaving with a man in a hoodie, a man they later identified as a wanted serial killer. Sarah's body was found 2 days later in an abandoned building. It turned out she had been meeting the killer for days, lured in by his promises of adventure. But in the end, she wasn't the only one in danger. Emma was his next target. What happens when you party with the wrong people? For one spring breaker, it meant waking up in a nightmare. In 2022, a 22-year-old college student named Madison was celebrating spring break in Fort Lauderdale. She and her friends were invited to a private yacht party by some rich guys they had just met. It seemed like a dream: free drinks, music, and endless ocean views. But soon things started to feel wrong. Madison started feeling dizzy, way more than she should have after just a couple of drinks. The last thing she remembered was a guy leading her below deck, and then blackness. She woke up alone, on the yacht, in the middle of the ocean. The party was gone. No music, no people, just silence and the sound of waves. Her clothes were different. Her phone was missing. And when she ran to the deck, she saw something that made her stomach drop: a trail of bloody footprints leading off the side of the boat. She screamed for help, but there was no one around. Hours later, a fisherman spotted her and called the police. To this day, Madison has no memory of what happened. The men who invited her were never identified, and the yacht? It didn't belong to any of them. Who were they? And what happened to the people at that party? No one knows. Spring break should be a time of fun and freedom, but these stories prove that danger can be closer than you think. Stay aware, trust your instincts, and remember, not everyone comes home. If you like these terrifying true stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more horror content. And if you have your own scary spring break story, share it in the comments. I might just feature it in the next video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.